What is up, YouTube? It is your boy Sanchez 405 coming at you. It is on the Warpath. It's Warpath Wednesday, y'all. And y'all see the title of it. I have to apologize to Mr. Kirk Daniel Cousins. As the Redskins, y'all beat the Seahawks. Beat the Seahawks on the road, 17-14. That game, I still can't believe the fact that the Redskins in their last 3 regular season trips to the Pacific Northwest, they've won. They have not lost in the regular season in Seattle since 1998, to go back that far, although there have been a couple of playoff losses built in there. If you want to talk about it, the Redskins are 3-2 in their last 5 trips to Seattle. Yeah, that's pretty good, and I couldn't be proud of that team. I will have to eat a lot of crow. Y'all know me. If I'm wrong. I was totally wrong about this game. I thought this game was going to be a blowout, just how the team performed. 43 players dressed up to go to Seattle. Had a couple of injuries, but what can you say? The defense played lights out. Zach Brown was all over the field. DJ Swearinger, Will Compton had a pick. That 2-point conversion play, or nearly 2-point conversion play, by the defense looked great. 4-4, if you look at it right now, this is pretty good. This is where Marin and I had them going into the regular right now at this point, midway point in the regular season. Peter Parker saying, pay that man. I'll get into that a little bit later, Pete. My thoughts on that, you might be a little upset after that. But this game started out safety. It's 2-0 ball game. Looked like it was the Mariners and the Nationals playing out there. So I'm like, well, this is how it's going to start. But the Redskins get a momentum. They put together a 13-play drive and get a touchdown. Rob Kelly punches it in, and then you add in a Nick Rose field goal. For a lot of that game, it was the Redskins for the first 3 quarters that you could say they were in control, quote unquote. But as you know, as a Redskins fan, y'all, the Redskins are never really in control. It just seems like the Redskins are people and the opponents of the federal government, just the sheep waiting to get led to the slaughterhouse, especially in close games, especially against teams of 500 better records, especially on the road. But this wasn't the case whatsoever. And I think, if I'm wrong, somebody check me on this. I believe this is the first time Kirk Cousins won a game on the road against a team with a 500 or above record. So that is a plus in its own respect. But that fourth quarter was really telling, especially down there where you're starting to believe it. Man, we can really win this game. And I was saying, man, we might actually win this game. And then I'm like, but where is the catch? Where's the bugaboo at? And the bugaboo was late in the game. Russ finds his safety net. He finds Doug Baldwin. 14-10. Less than 2 to go. I don't remember how much time was left there. And you're like, this is the most Redskin way to lose. And Brian Quick, Kirk Cousins hook up. We've only seen Brian Quick, I think, 1 game before, but he had to be activated because we didn't have enough people. Finds him. I'm like, okay, eyes got bigger. Eyes got dilated there. We progress a little bit further down this narrative. And who in the ham sandwich? Kirk Cousins, left sideline. Who does he find? The first-round pick from last year, Josh Doxson. He didn't drop this one, y'all. Josh Doxson made a first-round pick catch right there. He slid under that ball. He cradled in. Only thing better could have been the fact that he that he would have scored on that. But the way he cradled that ball in there, and then you're starting to believe. You're like, this is going to happen. And next play, Rob Kelly punches in, touchdown, Washington Redskins. I was elated. I could not believe that. That's what teams do. This is what good teams do. You go out there, you find a way to win. You don't make excuses. I did make excuses for them last week when they had this team finally had a week to gel together, some of these replacements and everything. And it's a credit to Jay Gruden's coaching style. Defense goes down there. Greg Minuski as well, putting these guys in there. There's leaders on this defense. I was reading, I believe it was in the Washington Post, the Redskins used to have mercenaries on the defense. Now they actually have leaders. So if you know a mercenary, they're just going to go out there, kill for their money, and get it done. The Albert Hainsworths of the world. And D. Hall coming back as well, too. 1-0 on the season. Looked good. Played some good defense. So, I mean, this was a shocker in its own regard. But you got to give this team credit for what they did, how they did it, where they did it at. Nobody goes up to Seattle and wins. Nobody. I think you can count on one hand in the last, 3 years, as many teams that go up there and win in Seattle, and that's not in the NFC West. I think if you look at it, the NFC East has had some good shots in Seattle at times. If you're Washington, if you're Dallas, but Washington winning 3 consecutive games in a row in Seattle, although those have been spread out over Jim Zorn's time. I believe the last one was Mike Shanahan before that, and now Jay Gruden. But we talked about a lot of stuff last week, and the big thing was Kirk Cousins. And what did Kirk Cousins do? He didn't turn the ball over. Well, he turned the ball over once. I think he fumbled it. But he didn't intercept the ball. He didn't force anything. He stayed in the game. He didn't get beside himself. He showed leadership. He showed courage. And I came on here last week, and I grilled the brother. And I'm still going to be hard on him. I love Kirk Cousins. Y'all know that. But I'm still going to grill him. I like what I saw. I love what I saw. I like that. You like that. We all like that. But I want more. I want more. If you want to get paid, you need to show me more. You show me you can win on the road against in hostile environment now. Show me you can take this team who nobody expects, take them to the playoffs, win a game on the road in the playoffs. Then you earn your money. You earn your keep here in Washington. That is the parameters that I set for this guy. This is what I'm setting for Kirk Cousins, y'all. You can say it might be too steep. I don't believe so. I think that is really great. I think that is the least that he can do. And you've got a winnable game this week coming up against Case Keenum and the Minnesota Vikings. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But Amir, as you can tell, he's not here with us, but then his thoughts in there. And believe it or not, he actually predicted this victory back in August. I didn't predict it. I'm not going to hold up for it. We both predicted 4-4 at this point in the season. Now, he did talk about Kirk Cousins. One of his biggest supporters is Fanny Sharp from what is it? I can't think of that show on there with Fanny Sharp and Skip Bayless. But you know, Kirk Cousins is he's really good, Skip, really good. And he went off on who still needs a job, Skip. And you look at Kirk Cousins, and he deserves to get paid for this, Skip. And said Josh Jackson needs more targets. I couldn't agree more. This is what Amir said. What he did with what he was offered. If somebody feeds you, if you go to mama's house or grandmama's house and they gonna feed you, you better eat. And That's what Doxson's starting to do. He's starting to eat. He's starting to get Kirk Cousins' grandma. He's hanging on. Hey, we Thanksgiving, give him a sweet potato pie. You know what? He's liking that. He's liking it. He's catching it. He showed it right there. If you eat, that boy gonna get big. He gonna be the receiver that you need there. All these last 8 games, they're all winnable, which I would tend to agree with. They are all winnable. Minnesota, the Saints, that'll be a tough one at Dallas. You got to get through the month of November. I think this team can do it. 2-2 is where I'm looking at to get through this month. And then you have a chance, snowball effect in December. You go out to LA where you're 2-0 in the Western time. But this is where a lot of people said, oh, well, the Redskins, you know, you're going out west 3 times this year. It's going to be a struggle. 2-0. You passed the first 2 tests. You're 3-0 against the NFC West. So you can go out there. You can go out there and win on the West Coast in the Pacific time zone. Not really an excuse. You've got Arizona coming up. You've got the Broncos coming up on Christmas Eve. And then you've got the Giants. You got Giants twice. You mean tell me you can't pick up 2 wins against the Giants, who basically Macadon won't tell you what he said in the locker room because he doesn't know, because he went back there to play Super Nintendo Classic at halftime. He obviously was trying to play Tecmo Super Bowl to see what plays he could draw up. Y'all saying pay the man. Okay. Man, when he shows me that he can win a playoff game. And he can do it. This team can't be a wild card team. They can go and win. I'd love for this team to be a wild card team, going to Philadelphia and beat the Eagles. Just stretch for some people, but I like it. Could go 6-2 down the stretch. That's what Mayor's saying. 10-6. That's good enough for a wild card. I don't think that won't be enough to catch the Eagles because you got tiebreakers in there. The Eagles already they're 1 game away from clinching a winning record for the first time in a couple years. So that's Amir's thoughts, and hopefully we'll have him back next week. My thoughts, I like what this team did. The defense, Greg Minuski. As while we're on the apology train, Greg Minuski, Jay Gruden deserves everybody's apology. Like, we should be writing to Redskins Park and telling Jay Gruden, hey, we're sorry, man. Sorry. Because this guy went out, cast the net, tried to find the defense coordinator, realized he had the defense coordinator in-house. Greg Minuski gets this team ready to go every week. This is some of the best defensive football I've seen a Redskins team play since we had Greg Williams and Greg Bosch as defense coordinators. And defensive play calls, because Greg Williams was never really the defensive coordinator. But I mean, that just the way this defense plays, they never say die. You know, the offense is giving up their share of turnovers, touchdowns, fumbles, stupid stuff, especially at the end of games that have made some of these scores a little bit larger than what they were. I think that at the end of the Philadelphia game in week 1, defensive touchdown that turned those 23 points, and really they didn't even give up 23 points. Yeah, they gave up 23 points there. And then Kansas City, and then also Dallas gave up touchdowns at the end of the game. So, I mean, if you look at it, this defense is playing real good. Minuski's got these boys out here playing. Well, Matthew 23. Would you say Kirk Cousins said that he's looking forward to working with Doxson for season to come? Yeah, well, that maybe they've got the framework down for it. Maybe they're waiting to see something. But like I said, Kirk Cousins is probably the best option right now. But in order for him to get paid the crack deal of money that he's looking forward to, I want to see him do a little bit more. I'm not trying to give him Joe Flacco money. PIMP. How awesome would it be if we beat the Eagles in the playoffs? That's my Christmas wish. Yeah, that's my Christmas wish. Y'all, my birthday's in 2 weeks. That's my birthday wish. 2 wins in a row against the Saints, against the not Cowboys, but the Giants. Love to see it. My birthday sandwiched in right there. Yes, got to beat Dallas. If we get, yeah, I do think that what Peter says, hey, this is a playoff team if we get healthy, yeah. But I'm not going to start kissing rings just yet. I really want to see what this team can do against Case Keenum, who has proven he is, when he's on, he's on. But when he's off, he is off. And this defense, maybe you can get an advantage, steal a game from a team coming off the bye week. Teddy Bridgewater is the backup quarterback. But Case Keenum is an elite quarterback, and he is prone to make mistakes. If the Redskins can go out there, take advantage of this guy, and maybe exploit this defense once or twice, we're looking at a 5-4 team getting ready to go meet the Saints down in New Orleans, and that'll be a great matchup down there. I really. This game will be decided, I think, by quarterback play. They really don't have the running backs. They have McKinnon. They have Latavius Murray. They have great wide receivers. We saw how Thielen works. Diggs. These guys are pretty good there. And then they have Treadwell, but I'm not sure if he's playing. I don't know his status. Defense, they got Linval Joseph. They've got, I think it's Xavier Rhodes on there. So they've got a good squad that I'm looking to see some interesting things out of that team when they come to FedEx Field for a second consecutive season in a row. And that was one of those toss-up games last year when they came to take the Burgundy and Gold. Came down to the last minute. It's probably one of Preston Smith's best game of the season. And I'm looking forward to it. Minnesota, it's always a good game. Going back to, I'd even say that Randy Moss game where he walked off the field in 05. These games have always been close. I mean, it's kind of like with the Minnesota Vikings and the Redskins. I would call it a very junior freshman level version of what the Colts and the Patriots were. Just because they play each other so often, they could be division rivals pretty much. And Mike Zimmer, Jay Gruden, they add a lot to that after being on Marvin Lewis's staff in Cincinnati. So when Jay's offense goes up against Mike's defense, that's where it's at. It's like they're back in Ohio getting ready for the season. So they know each other very well to this point. Both teams are 1-1. This will be the tiebreaker between the Gruden and Zimmer Bowl. But as I look forward, going forward, I'm not looking into the future. Neither should you. This is a one. I really do think it's a one-game season. I've actually set on an assistant with a local college's football team, my alma mater, and the coach always has this to tell his team: they're not 2-0, they're not 3-0, they're just 1-0 again, and you got to go out there and win. That's what the Redskins have to do. They have to focus on live in the moment. You have to live in the moment. While I was very frustrated with the Skins, I said one thing I don't talk about tanking, and this is the reason why I don't talk about tanking, is because stuff like this can happen. You were 3-4 halfway through the season. You still have a chance to turn your season around. I think it's asinine to talk about something as stupid and as trivial as tanking for the rest of the season to get a draft pick that might not mean anything later down the road. You know, you could be drafting the next Achilles Smith if you're looking to draft a quarterback. Go with what you got now. Do what you got to do. Go out there. Play the damn games. That's why they put them on the schedule. You're not the Browns. You're not the 49ers. You're not the Giants. Until you hit that eight loss count, you still got an opportunity for a winning season. So until you hit that, nobody should be giving up. This team is too, I think, as a clusterfuck as it is. I think this team can still do some good things. We sit here and we'll point fingers, but I think at the end of the day, this team, hey man, looked really good. The running game's got to get on point though. That's one thing was in Seattle. I know they got a good defense, but my God, it is hard to watch this team run the ball. It is really hard. All they do is hit brick walls. It reminds me back when I was dating and I'd go out to the club and say, hey, what's your name? Stonewall. Stuffed Sanchez, Stuffed Rob. I wish I was a little bit more of a Chris Thompson where I could catch the ball too and then run it out of the back of the club. I mean, to the end zone. But, that those are minor things. Defense, Will Compton, y'all, look at him. I mean, last year, after getting benched pretty much in favor of Mason Foster and Zach Brown, where he was the captain on defense he was a captain on defense last year, and now look at him. But that's all right. That's what leaders do. Leaders step up to the occasion. They don't go and hide. Mason Foster out for the season. Now Compton's in there again, and he's playing to the best of his abilities, which is impressive. People might not think he's an answer, but he does what the coaches need him to do. He goes out there and win, y'all. And he goes out there and takes on every challenge ahead of him. And looking forward to Sunday's game. The live stream was not done because I actually am in a master's program and I had a lot of work to do. So I do apologize for not being there. Hopefully I will have a live stream up for the Vikings game. If not, I am committed to doing a video after the Vikings game, win or loss. But I lost my voice. I was so excited. Went on Facebook. If you thought this team was going to win, unless your name is Amir, you're a damn liar, because nobody saw this coming. Even Amir didn't see it coming when he had a win on there. So you're a damn liar either way. If you thought the Redskins were going to win, you're a damn liar, or you're in Vegas, or you need to be doing something, because didn't think the Redskins could hold this team to 17 points. To 14 points. But they did. Held Russell Wilson in check. Thank you, Zach Brown. Kirk Cousins played a clean game, did not throw any picks to change the field. Nick Rose, he was out there. He made all three of his necessary kicks, his field goal, and his 2 extra points. Hopefully we can get Hopkins back. But it does make me nervous every time I see every Nick has its thorn rose out there. And, just after that Dallas game. But we can shake that off. It's on. We got to forget about this. We should have forgot about it yesterday, Monday. We should have forgot about it because now Minnesota comes into town, and this is a big one. All these games are big. From this point on, you got to play like every day is your last if you're the Redskins, because really it's honestly not guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed to you now. You're third place in the NFC East. Dallas is on the rise. Philadelphia's still doing their thing. You could probably sneak in there as 6th, hopefully maybe a 5th seed, depending on how Dallas plays. But that remains to be seen. The NFC South is looking really good with their 2 teams in Carolina and Arizona. Not Arizona, but New Orleans. I don't know what happened to Tampa Bay. Atlanta, I don't know what's going on there. I think they're pretty much out of it. I think it'll even be a struggle for the Falcons to even make the playoffs this year. You look in the North, Green Bay's out of it. That they have enough firepower, even if Aaron Rodgers were to come back and Brett Hundley, to get them to the promised land. So I think you're looking at a 2-team race between Minnesota and Detroit, so we could help out the Lions. and give them a chance to bail them out and help them set up a nice little Thanksgiving date with the Vikings. That'll be a big game on CBS again. It's not on CBS. I think it'll be on Fox, but we shall see in that respect. So the NFC, I think the NFC is wide open besides a couple of those spots, but those wild card spots, I think won't, like Atlanta, don't sexy team really to watch there. So we'll see going forward, and check to see if anybody's got any questions. But y'all know, as always, we do have the On the Warpath Christmas tree up. I'm trying to get that concocted in the videos. Yeah, I know it's too early, but you got to talk to my fiance about that. She really wanted to put it up, but she let me pick the ornaments, y'all. So, hey, and it's all burgundy and gold, y'all. So hopefully I can get it in one of these videos and share it with y'all. But I'm really excited for the second half of the season to really get started for the Redskins. Hopefully going down the stretch 6-2, make it a 10-6 season, and go out there and hopefully make the playoffs. That's what I'm looking forward to. Hopefully this is a win against Minnesota. If the Redskins are to win, you got to stop that offense. You got to take advantage of Case Keenum and make him look foolish. That's what you have to do. On offense, you got to play your same game. Do not turn the ball over, and you've got to establish the run. Eventually, it's getting cold outside, and you've got to establish the run somehow. You have to. It's really no excuse. Redskins must establish the run, whether it's with Rob Kelly, whether it's with Chris Thompson, whether it's with Samaje, who loves to fumble the ball. You've got to execute and run the ball here in November. That's teams that win. They run the ball. They know how to run the ball, at least, unless you're New England, because New England does everything right. They don't even have to really run the ball. They call a pass. They might as well call all their passes running backs runs, but then they probably be a majority running team. But really excited. I'm blown away by this team and what the Skins accomplished on Sunday. And as for Kirk Cousins, y'all know where I stand with him. I love Kirk Cousins. I'm not gonna lie. Whether I criticize him, and I'll take the heat for it. If you guys want to get after me, come on and get after me. I'm a big boy. I can take it. We can disagree with that. I don't think Kirk Cousins sucks. I just think he needs to show me a little bit more, y'all. And that's what I'm looking forward to. It's seeing a little bit more from Kirk Cousins. If he earned that C, man, earn that C, Kirk Cousins, earn it on your chest and go out there, execute, win, put what the stuff that I say, but the stuff that the media says, just put it on your back burner. Go out there and win some games for us, man. I know you can do it, Kirk. I know you can do it, bro. You can do it. All you got to do, it's corny as it sounds. Believe it, and you can achieve it. It really, that is the case of it all. And you go out there and you do it, this team, victories will pile up. And you really don't have an excuse anymore, buddy. You've shown that you can go out there and beat anybody. You beat the Seahawks in Seattle, in the cold, without a running game. You held on, and then you broke through. Kirk Cousins, man, you deserve a tip of the hat. If I had one, I would tip my hat off to you, because I'm very proud of you, dude. And I am sorry. We were wrong. We were wrong about this game, how this team will perform. We apologize to the whole Redskins organization, because really didn't know what we're going to see out there, those injuries. And really, you got to give it to those scouts, too. They go out there, they put the right guys in there. They went and picked up the right dudes who stood in there. Clemens doing a great job on that left tackle side. And hopefully we'll get some of these cats back this week. But I love you guys as always. And We've got some new things in the works. We'll be talking to you real soon. I love you guys. Love, peace, and hell. And I'm out. Sanchez 405. Talk to you later in the week.